Buckle up! This week's Asian Entertainment Roundup is pure adrenaline. We've got chart toppers, courtroom showdowns, billion-dollar comebacks, and a few moral dilemmas straight off a Netflix thriller. First up, new releases. Nitsu is back with Emotion. Kenshi Yonetsu dropped 1991. TWS released Overdrive. Hoyen is out with Session Incredibles. Meow returns with Burning Up. And NMIX is also back with Blue Valentine. Queen Wasa is back with Good Goodbye. 80s returned with Slide to Me. The King of SM is back, with Body Language. And for the mid-seas out there, ITZY just dropped a teaser for Tunnel Vision, out October 17. As always, check the playlist in the description box. Let's move on to Mama Awards. This year's awards will take place over 2 days at Hong Kong Kai Tak Stadium, November 28 and 29. The performers lineup for Chapter 1, which is November 28, includes some exciting names: IVE, ENHYPEN, Baby Monster, Boy Next Door, Super Junior, Meow, TWS, Hearts to Hearts, Alpha, Drive 1, and Bombs Up. And for Chapter 2, November 29, Stray Kids, Rise, Zero Base 1, All Day Project, Cortis, IZNA, Kickflip, and more to come. This one's a different arena. The Los Angeles Dodgers are headed to the World Series. Leading the charge is Shoheiohtani, who just delivered one of the most insane postseason performances we've ever seen. 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts, sending the ball to oblivion, the Dodgers to the World Series, and the rest of us to StubHub to cry over ticket prices. But Ohtani isn't the only one carrying the story. We've got a triumvirate of Japanese baseball power. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the precision machine whose calm, methodical pitching has anchored the Dodgers' rotation all year. And then there's Roki Sasaki, the 23-year-old baseball future. You probably remember him from his legendary perfect game in Japan's NPB, where he struck out 19 batters, 13 of them in a row, a world record. In the NLCS, Sasaki struck out the side to secure Game 3, and then closed out Game 4 to send the Dodgers to the World Series. This isn't just the Dodgers chasing another title, it's Japan, once again reminding the world that greatness doesn't need translation. From home runs to high heels, Japan wasn't the only one showing off global dominance this week. Over on the glittering stage of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, Twice made their highly anticipated debut, and let's just say the girls understood the assignment. Gio, Momo, and Nayeon absolutely owned the stage, confident and radiant and serving both model energy and pop star precision. Each brought their own flair. Gio with powerhouse poise, Momo with her dancer's charisma, and Nayeon with that effortlessly flirty charm that could sell anything. And she probably did. Unfortunately, Tzuyu came down with a sore throat that affected her performance, but it did not stop her from making the headlines anyway, because the lingerie she was wearing sold out within hours. proving once again that the point of the fashion show is not just to perform, but also to move products. If Victoria's Secret knows what's good for them, they'll have her back on the runway ASAP, because after years of struggling to find a new angel that truly resonates globally, they might have just found the best-selling one, and she happens to be from Taiwan. And another big win story. Prosecutors have once again requested a prison sentence for the operator of the YouTube channel Taldok Soyungsu, that's Rehabilitation Center for Former Fans, better known online as Sojang. The same YouTuber previously sued by BTS and Jungkook for defamation. The 37-year-old defendant earned hundreds of thousands of dollars by posting malicious videos targeting celebrities, including IVE's Jang Won-young. She was earlier sentenced to 2 years in prison with probation, 120 hours of community service, and ordered to forfeit over 200 million won or $141,000, but prosecutors are now seeking a 4-year prison term. Between 2021 and 2023, she uploaded dozens of defamatory and body-shaming videos about idols, profiting roughly 250 million won or 176,000. In court, she finally admitted that she did not think she was doing something wrong. The final ruling comes November 11, but the message is already clear. Freedom of speech isn't freedom from consequences. So for bloggers out there, consider this your wake-up call. Views fade, but accountability does not. And here is another win. Blackpink reigns as the most nominated act of the year in Mama with astounding 23 total nominations across both groups and solo categories. Meanwhile, Jennie leads all individual artists as the most nominated soloist, racking up 9 nominations for her solo work and collaborations. With Mama moving to Hong Kong's newest mega venue, expect this year's stage to be as global, glitzy, and power-packed as the artists themselves. Now let's talk a little magic. Studio Ghibli Fest is back for 2025, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Japan's beloved animation house. In partnership with G-Kids and Fathom Events, this year's lineup features 8 iconic films, including Isao Takahata's heartbreaking masterpiece Grave of the Fireflies and Hayao Miyazaki's Oscar-winning The Boy and the Heron, joining the fest lineup for the very first time since its theatrical release. And up next on the big screen are Spirited Away, a breathtaking journey through a spirited world that redefined what animated storytelling could be, and The Boy and the Heron, Miyazaki's return to filmmaking, blending grief, fantasy, and self-discovery into visual poetry. For the full schedule and tickets, visit gkids.com. Back to something a little more serious. Bighit wants to make sure that their artists don't get disrespected ever again by officially announcing plans to take legal action after determining that a foreign artist plagiarized TXT's BEOMGYU'S solo song Take My Half. The controversy began when listeners noticed striking similarities between BEOMGYU'S track and another artist's recently released song, Take My Hand. After reviewing both versions, Bighit stated there was a clear similarity and confirmed they would be pursuing legal action against the accused artist. Now let's go from courtroom to home movies. Ever since Netflix animated hit K-pop Demon Hunters, fake leaks of a supposed live-action remake have been floating around online, courtesy of our AI-powered imagination era. Director Maggie Kang just cleared things up. In a recent interview, she said that she doesn't really see a live-action version ever working. She said, and I quote, "There's so many elements of the tone and the comedy that are so suited for animation. It's really hard to imagine these characters in a live-action world. It would feel too grounded. It wouldn't work for me." Well, she has a point. That's exactly the charm of K-pop Demon Hunters, a visual universe where magical girls meet idol culture, powered by chaos, comedy, and choreography. But here's a live action movie that's worth watching. And it's asking an important question. Would you take 30 million baht from a dead person's account? That's the moral question at the heart of Thailand's newest Netflix thriller, Everybody Loves Me When I'm Dead, which premiered on October 14. The film dives deep into middle-class desperation, family dysfunction, and moral collapse in the high-stakes world of banking. When two bank employees decide to steal 30 million baht from a deceased client's doormat account, they unleash a chain of events that pulls them into the criminal underworld and tests how far people will go for family, money, and survival. It's dark, emotional, and deeply human. The kind of story that asks not just what would you do, but who would you become? Watch Everybody Loves Me When I'm Dead now on Netflix. And Cortis returns from their US promo blitz, and they're not slowing down. They just wrapped up a full-on US promo blitz, and it was nothing short of a coming-out party for one of Korea's most musically sophisticated new acts. Their schedule was packed. A live performance on iHeartRadio, a studio session for Apple Music, a dance workshop at the Redville event, and even an in-depth sit-down interview with Zane Lowe. Make sure you catch those appearances on YouTube, and they are now back in Korea. Cortis is already collecting accolades, snagging 5 nominations at the upcoming Mama Awards. Not bad for a group that's still technically in their debut era. We'll be doing a full review of their US run, but for now, the real question is, when is the second album and when is the world tour? While we're waiting for that answer, the Korean Business Research Institute has something right now. They revealed this month's brand reputation rankings for individual boy group members. BTS's Jimin held on to his top spot with a brand reputation index of 4,311,257. He is the only artist to ever top this ranking for 35 consecutive months and 53 months overall, cementing his unmatched influence. Meanwhile, BTS's Jin rose to second place with a brand reputation index of 3,550,868 for October. Big Bang's G-Dragon jumped to number 3 with a brand reputation index of 3,183,058. BTS V came in at close fourth with 3,161,641. And finally, BTS Jungkook rounded up the top 5 with 3,153,037. Check out the top 30 on your screen right now. Why don't we end this with money talk? I mean, BTS level money. That's a lot of money. According to Billboard, the group's highly anticipated comeback could generate a staggering $1.05 billion in total revenue. And that's before counting brand deals or IP boosts like BT21, Tiny Tan, and others. Here's the breakdown. For concerts, they estimate 664.1 million from an estimated 3.9 million attendees across 65 shows, roughly 60,000 fans per night. For context, that's the same league as Coldplay, who grossed 665 million from their Music of the Spheres World Tour. Merchandise, 352.7 million. Proof that ARMY doesn't just show up, we stock up. And of course, album, 80 million from around 4 million units sold, an impressive feat in a streaming-dominated era. And of course, streaming, 33.2 million from a jaw-dropping 9.22 billion streams for a total of 1.05 billion USD. And remember, this estimate only covers music and touring. It doesn't include possible boosts to HYBE's massive intellectual property ecosystem, global merch like BT21, digital avatars like Tiny Tan, or potential sync deals placing BTS songs in films, ads, and games. In other words, BTS's comeback isn't just a reunion. It's a global economic event. Are you ready, armies?